Thou shalt not fake thyself out. Yea or nay? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to the Orange Office here in lovely Grants Pass, Oregon, for once again a thrilling episode of Brian J. Pombo Live. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about a concept called, oftentimes referred to as the 11th Commandment, which is thou shalt not fake thyself out. What's it mean? And how does it relate back to yesterday's topic of fake it till you make it? Well, as I said, the only way to really fake it till you make it is to basically put yourself in a situation that you don't feel comfortable in, that you don't feel is even you, so that you can become the person that you think you're supposed to be. So, and that's an odd way of putting it, but go back and watch that episode. What I want to talk about today is thou shalt not fake thyself out. And this is such a huge concept because most of the business owners that I run into, and this goes beyond just business owners. This is a human situation. We always find a way of faking ourselves out. In other words, we can convince ourselves that we're doing more than we actually are. It's the most common thing. That we're more productive than we actually are. That we're accomplishing something that we really are not. And it's because we put so much effort and hard work and thought behind whatever it is that we're working on, that we think we've done something, when really we haven't. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else. This is why, if you're wanting to accomplish more with what you have, if you're looking to do more with the time that you have and the what you have available to you, you can. And it really takes, first, a little bit of self-discipline, a little bit of tracking, and a knowledge of self-deception and being able to catch yourself when you're doing something wrong. It's very difficult to do on your own. That's why it's good to have coaches or consultants or partners or somebody next to you that can pin you down on things when you're fooling yourself. You're faking yourself out. You're deceiving yourself. One of my favorite ways, and I'm going to talk about it just briefly, is tracking. Having something, you got to track your progress. You have to have something that you do on a daily basis that can be tracked. And then you track that on a daily basis. Daily, you could say weekly basis, but honestly, you need a daily thing. You need something daily that you're doing that is progressing your business, that is progressing your vision. Whatever it is you're looking to do, have a number that can be broken down to a daily thing. Now, you're saying, well, what should I be tracking? There's so many different metrics in my business, so many different things I could be looking at. I'm going to recommend this book, and over the next couple days, I'm going to pick out 3 different areas in this book that have been so helpful to me, but this book is just full of great stuff. It's called The One Thing. It's by Gary Keller. You need to read this book or go get the audiobook. It's a pretty good audiobook too. I think I originally heard it via audiobook. I went and got a physical copy because there's so many good quotes, so many good diagrams that you can't see via an audiobook. So it's having a physical copy is great. They've got this out in paperback too. It's been out for a while. This is like, I think it's like from 2013, 2016, something like that. The main concept of the book is to focus on one thing at a time. And I know, overly simplifying a very complicated concept. But seriously, the main thing that's holding you back from tracking is you aren't focusing on doing one thing at a time, getting one thing done a day at a time, or at least to the point to where it becomes a habit. So we're going to talk about how to go about tracking, what you should be choosing as a tracking factor, I can't stand tracking. I can't stand being held down. I think it's the main thing that stops entrepreneurs from doing it is we just don't like being held in. We don't like being put in a cage. We don't like having homework. We don't like having deadlines. But it's something that you need to do until you have something that becomes a habit, that you know needs to be a habit. And if you're not going to do it, you've got to make sure someone in your organization is doing it. And they've got to be held to a tracking. It has to, but these things have to be done. And someone's got to do it. So tomorrow we're going to talk about what should you be tracking? How do you identify that? Without me being right there next to you, how would I go about identifying it? We're going to go through that process tomorrow. If this is something that interests you, becoming a more efficient personally, but also being able to look back at your entire business and look at how do we really make it do what it needs to do so that we can go from point A, where you're at, to point B, which is where you want to be. How do we go through that process and really becoming what you know your business is capable of being, which is what I like to refer to as your dream business. If you're a business owner or an executive of a business that's in the self-reliance field, which is an area that I work in, meaning you have products or services that help people to become more self-reliant, go to dreambizchat.com. Dreambizchat.com. This is my special effects. I could just have it pop up on the screen, but that would take up too much time and probably be way too easy. I'd rather just hold up this cue card. Dreambizchat.com, or you can click on the link in the description. At dreambizchat.com, you'll see an 8.5-minute video. Watch it. Watch a few minutes of it. See if it jives with you. If it does, fill out the application. You may just be one of the people that can get a free conversation with me, which is a $600+ value. So tomorrow, like I said, we're going to be talking about tracking. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.